Hey, today we want to talk about how much an inspector can make in Texas.
Hey, I'm Matt Warner with the Inspection Academy. I've been a professional home inspector here in Texas for 6 years. I also have a master's degree in education from Texas Tech University. I built the Inspection Academy to help aspiring home inspectors get their qualifying education and pass their test on their first try. If you've been considering getting your home inspection license in the state of Texas, you should know that the Inspection Academy is the only school that uses instructional design and adult learning theory to develop their courses. Remember, we know what to teach because we're home inspectors. We know how to teach because we're educators.
First, let's set the average inspection price in Texas at $500. I know people can argue that they make more, they make less, but let's just keep it as a round number, $500. When you go to work for a company, you're going to get about 35 to 40% of the inspection fee. So let's underpromise and overdeliver and say 35. So if you make 35% of that $500, it's going to be $175 per inspection. That'll be a base. Some inspections will be more, some will be less, but for your average, it should be around $175 per inspection. That is before add-ons like pool and spa, irrigation systems, which is really just a fancy word for sprinkler systems, wood destroying insect inspections, that type of thing. These all add additional add-on fees that you make a percentage of. So your pool and spa inspections usually are about 120 to 125. Same with wood destroying insect inspections. And irrigation systems usually $50 to $60. So the inspector working for the company is going to make about $44 for the pool and spa and WDI inspections. They may give you $50. And then you'll probably make $20 to $25 on the irrigation system inspections. So if you add these in, you can make more, obviously. If we start with the base inspection of $175, you're going to take probably 4 hours to do an inspection, maybe a little bit more when you get started. And as you get better, you'll narrow it down. But at 4 hours, $175 is about $40 to $44 an hour. As you get it faster and you can do an inspection in under 4 hours, obviously your hourly wage goes up. So you're going to be making somewhere between $40 and $50 an hour to start when you start working with someone before you do any add-ons. If you were to do, say, 5 inspections a week at that price, you're going to make around $875 a week. And the best part of all is you're only going to be working about 25 to 30 hours with your drive time included. So you're making a really good hourly wage, and you can do that if that fits your schedule. Okay, the next way to make money with your inspector's license is to open your own business and be a solo operator, run the inspections yourself. This is going to take a little bit longer to get started and start making money, but once you do, obviously, you get to make more money because you're going to make 100% of the inspection fee minus your overhead costs and taxes. So this can be a little more lucrative, but it's also more work outside of just doing the inspections because you're going to have to do the networking and marketing and all those types of things. With that said, again, keeping a $500 inspection average, you're going to have overhead like insurance, which for TREC minimum is going to cost you just under $100. You're going to pay somewhere around $100 a month for your inspection writing software. Your tools, once you pay for your tools, occasionally you're going to have to update your tools, but once you buy your tools, it's not so much overhead anymore. But you're going to have gas, and the more inspections you run, the more gas you're going to need, obviously. You're going to pay processing fees to take payments from people, so that's going to be an additional fee. And the more the more payments you take, the more you're going to have to process. So it's always going to be a percentage. And then your marketing or advertising budget. So just depending on how much you want to spend up front. Let's say when you start, you're spending $1,000 a month in overhead. At $500 an inspection, your first 2 inspections should cover your overhead costs for the month. And every other inspection you get for the rest of the month should be yours minus the taxes. So when you look at it that way, let's say you start off and you start getting 2 a week, right? Well, that's 8 a month. And if we take the first 2 out, that's 6 a month at 500, that's about $3,000 profit. So the best part of that is you're only going to work about 10 to 12 hours a week with the drive time included to make $36,000 a year. If we take that up a notch to 3 a week, now all of a sudden we're making upwards of $6,000 a month After overhead, that leaves you $5,000 a month. That's a $60,000 a month or $60,000 a year job, and you're barely working about 80 hours a month. I will say that 80 hours is outside of the networking and marketing that you're going to have to do. That's just running the inspections. And this is kind of around the sweet spot of what inspectors make in Texas. They make about $50,000 to $60,000 a year. Okay, let's talk about the third way to make money. Let's say you've been running your own inspection company and you're getting 20 to 30 inspections a month. At this point in time, it's probably going to benefit you more to just hire a second inspector and start to make some additional money that way instead of running more inspections yourself. If you're running your 20 inspections a month and you can get up to 40 and provide someone 20 inspections a month themselves, you're going to make 60 to 65% of that inspection. There is additional overhead to make sure you're getting those. So what you end up getting is about 50% of the inspection fee that they do. So let's just say $250 per inspection. If you can get an inspector that can run 20 inspections at that rate, that's an additional $5,000 a month coming into you. So there's an extra $60,000 a year by someone running inspections for your company. So while your advertising goes up, between you doing 20 a month and them doing 20 a month, you're going to make around $130,000 a year doing that. And that's just by adding one inspector. So the math on a full firm where you're running 5, 6, 10 inspectors, you can see how that really can grow exponentially. As you can see, there's 3 different ways that you can earn money with your inspector license. You can go to work for someone, you can work for yourself, or you can build a multi-inspector firm. All 3 of these are going to have different levels of income. They're also all 3 going to have different levels of pressure and the things you've got to cover to make sure that they run properly. But you can definitely make money as an inspector in Texas. It's just a matter of how hard you want to work and what direction you want to take it. So if you've ever wanted to own your own business, there's very few businesses you can get into with less time spent and less money spent than home inspection. It's very new, with it only being 50 years old. It's an industry that's just getting started. So if you're interested in making some money doing something like this, reach out and give us a call.
If you've been seriously looking for a home inspection school to help you prepare for the qualifying education exams, you should know that you have several options. And to be honest, the Inspection Academy may not be right for you. We've provided a sample exam that you can access through the link in the description below. If you need, we've also provided a link to schedule an online meeting with me so we can discuss what might be the best option for you, even if it's not our school.